We live?
Let's go.
Let-
Hang on.
Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the back straight of today. And so we're going to go right through the pet and animal category, which is sponsored by our good friends at Panasonic. So thank you, Panasonic, for supporting us. And all the pets and animals will love you for it. So I'll run through the preamble. Actually, I'll just run through our judging panels. So we have Vittorio Natoli, Janet Craig, David Oliver, Lisa Ivandich, and the lovely Jacinta Dalben. Good. Yeah? Yeah, good. Oh, 5 out of 5. Okay. The pet and animal portrait category is a category for images of domestic pets, farm animals, and captive zoo animals. Animal pet portrait photography is broadly defined and can include studio portraiture, documentary, corporate and travel work, creative and illustrative portraits. The animals should be the primary subject of the images entered into this category. Images may contain one or more humans. However, the animals and or its relationship or interaction with the human should be the primary subject. If it could be interpreted that the human is the primary subject, the image may be better suited in another category. Entries in this category may be commissioned or self-commissioned. Images must include an actual animal within the work. The pet animal must be discernible as such, even if the whole animal is not depicted. Entries can be composites. This is encouraged to maintain safe working conditions for the subjects. Diptychs, triptychs and series are also permitted. Okay, so here we are at the end of the day. We are revved up, raring to go. We've been practicing all day, and here we are at ready to fire. So, any questions? Otherwise, could we have our first print, please? First print, thanks. So this print scores 80, silver award. And is there? I'm looking for some feedback for Janet. Would you mind providing some feedback there?
I guess I was on the lower end for feedback, but I just the little story and the narrative just was a little bit lacking for me. So I did score it in professional practice, but still, it's a nice solid silver, and well done to the author.
Okay, thank you, Janet. Okay, next print, please. Okay, this print scores 80, a silver award. Lisa, is there elements here, or is there some feedback to improve this image?
There's definitely some elements here. The printing definitely needs to be improved. The picture on the right, half of the white's bled into the back, and it took me a while to work out that was also the dog on the top. The dog on the top is awesome, and there's some blocking of the blacks on the back of the cat. So there's some really good elements here. It just perhaps needs a little bit of finessing, and it will move up.
Excellent. Thank you. I like your conciseness. Next print, please. Print scores 79. And I'm going to target David. Is there room for improvement?
I really enjoyed this picture. I'm not too sure how you improve it. Maybe a different time of the day, but to capture that moment, if it is one capture, wow, it's incredible. The dog just posing with the lady doing her exercises. I'm not too sure what more you could do.
Cool. Thank you, sir. Next print, please. Okay, print scores 77. And I'm looking for volunteers. Thank you, Janet.
Yes, you just really need to look at the blacks are quite blocked up, as well as some of the bright bits in the picture. And just think about when you're shooting these sort of pictures, where does the point of interest want to rest? There's so many conflicting factors that are distracting me from the gorgeous, dog in the middle and the story that you're trying to tell. So just sort of think about those elements.
Great comments. Thank you. Okay, next print, please. Print scores 84, silver award. Thank you, Lisa.
I really love this. Every single portrait in there is just amazing. if I could suggest a bit of a tweak of your orders, if you could swap the top middle dog and put him in the middle, because his dead stare is fantastic, that confused stare, and the dog to the left of him as well, swap him to break up the two black dogs, and just see how that looks. That might improve it more, but it's beautiful. I love the colour matching of the backgrounds and everything.
Yes.
Good job.
Excellent. Get ready for APA. Thank you, judges. And Lisa, next print, please. Print scores 79 by majority, and we have a challenge from Janet. Thank you, Janet.
Yes, I'm looking for a silver distinction here. I guess the old mouse and the cheese story, and nothing particularly new there, but adding in the element of the little love heart on the string, really nicely done. Just an interesting narrative, and I just think the photographers offered up just a really quirky, little funny picture that deserves to be rewarded.
So, Janet's pointing out this is an automatic challenge, which means you do not have a right for reply, but you can change your score. Okay, so I want you to point that out before you finish.
Okay, thanks, Des. I didn't realise that. Yes, and the expression on the little mouse's face as well. I just think, everything that goes into that. And when you sort of think about a lot of the little fables, the Cinderella stories, and, it's almost giving life and giving a voice to the mice of the world. And this is a particularly nice mouse, I believe, because he's carrying a little love heart. And well done to the author for having this sort of funny, quirky thing going on in their head. I love it. And I think it really does deserve to be rewarded.
Cool.
Yeah. Silver distinction.
There's quite a spread there. So I look for volunteers that want to provide their point of view at this stage. Thanks, Jacinta. So your score range here is you have 78, 78, 75, 89 and 80.
Okay, I'm willing to go up possibly into the silver range, but I probably struggle a little bit with the silver distinction just for a few technical aspects. Firstly, I could be wrong, but I don't know if it's sort of tilted a little bit the wall. I just want to straighten that wall line or the flooring and the architrave wall. And I just found it's just worked a little bit too much. The saturation on the hand, the over-sharpening, and then I find that the mouse is quite matte. So the finish on the mouse is quite matte where I want to see the fur, whereas I'm finding it's all blurred into one. So that's where I was struggling a little bit.
Vic, you gave it an 80, a silver.
Yeah, I think I like where the photographer was going and what it's saying, but I had problems with the technical aspects of the print. So, the mice, mice, the hand was blurry, but the balloon string is sharp. So that little bit of detail could have been finessed a little bit more maybe. But I like the concept of it, and I thought, for originality and everything, it was worth a silver at least.
Okay. No one else? Then you all have the opportunity to rescore, please. So 79 was the score. It is now 82 silver award. Well done, judges. And next print, please. This print scores 82 silver award. So, if the author was to send this to APA, Janet, what could this? Is there anything here that could be done? So, some helpful feedback, please.
Well, it's one of those pictures that come around and is just impact straight away. And what let it down, though, was just the blacks. They're just sort of really blocked up. It's, you can sort of, there's a bit of a story that you can add to it, but you've got to get those technical things right. And, but well done. I just love the whole idea of it, the creativity. Keep going down this path, because my goodness, this is sort of taking pets into another, another zone, if you like, which I really love that. So keep going, but get the blacks right.
Excellent. Great advice. Thank you. Okay, next print, please. Print scores 88, silver with distinction. And we have a challenge with Vic, who is currently sitting on 90. Vic, you are not alone. You have Lisa on 90. And you also have an 87, an 88 and an 85 to work with.
So we actually all have agreed that it's actually a gold. We just haven't sort of pushed the right numbers. So, where do you start, right? So I tell you where I start. I come from a classic background. So this is a classic background. This is a well-executed shot that has superb lighting technique. So whoever's done this understands how to manage light. Not only can they manage light, but they can manage dogs to look like humans. So if you, each one of these dogs, and I'm not a really good dog photographer at all, but they may as well be human to me. Each one of them have an individual look and feel, and just everything about them is human-like for me. And, you know, if I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, mum with 8 children or dad with 8 children, in the studio, and had to light it like this, I'd be troubled to get it any better. And so it's definitely a gold material.
Thank you, David. So, David, you're not far off.
Yeah, and I'm kicking myself. I didn't go gold. I was a bit silly, really, because it is a gold, obviously. Just jumps out, doesn't it? Yeah, everything. It's very believable, even if it is a construction. I'm believing this is real, because the lighting is exquisite, and the individuality on every dog, and it's perfect. So it's a gold for me. Yeah, definitely over the line at gold.
Great, thank you. Anyone else? Thank you, Jenna.
Yeah, I guess I scored at 85. I love that central character. The mother is with all her flock, and the expression is gold on its own, definitely. But what brought it down for me was the detail in the rug down the bottom. I found quite distracting with the others in it, but it looks like we've got 3 on gold anyway. But just as feedback for the author, that pulled it down for me.
Yep. Thank you, Jacinta. Yeah. Yes, please.
That was probably the only thing that held me back too, was the rug, but that was simply what I would do is just crop that bottom. I still think maybe I was a little bit chicken in being too hard on my scoring, which I was still a high silver distinction, but I will be going up to gold. Just another thing that I really love, I wanted to mention to the photographer, is there's just one puppy there which has got one ear down and one ear up. So to me, it's like almost the 7 dwarfs, but we've got an extra puppy there, and they've all got their individual expressions. They're all sharp. It's a fantastic image, so well done to the photographer.
Lisa, you're all right there with Vic.
Something, don't I? The more I look at this, the more I even think I slightly underwent at 90. It's definitely a solid gold, if not pushing the gold distinction. You've got Bruiser on the right. You've got the runt to Dopey falling down third from the left. The rug didn't bother me. To me, that actually almost replicated grass, but toned in beautifully. That did not bother me in the slightest. As I said, if there's been head swaps or composites, I can't tell. I completely believe it. There is nothing in this image that I can knock down, and the more I look at it, the more I see it's superb.
Okay, Vic, you've got plenty of friends here, mate.
To push the buttons.
Okay. So the print is currently sitting on 88, which is a silver distinction. Scores are coming in. And we now have 92 gold award. Well done, judges. Nice work. Next print, please. Thank you, Vic. Says print scores 84, silver award. Lisa, any room for improvement here?
Yeah, all I would say is that the background, while it's well exposed, it feels a touch muddy. Maybe a bit more contrast in the background to go with that really zippy expression, and it's really beautifully captured.
Great. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Next print, please. you. Okay, this print scores 81, silver award. Looking for comments? Anyone? Jacinta, I haven't heard from you for a while. Thank you.
From back here, this has impact straight away, but when you go up, there's just a few technical things. The centre image, we're losing the detail in the white fur, which I know is extremely hard to be able to get, but it is looking a little bit muddy, and I'm finding when you go up close, the image on the right is the stronger image. So just a few things to look at is just the muddiness of the image, and maybe if the right hand image is stronger on its own.
Cool. Great. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go another print, please. Righto then, we have a score of 88, silver distinction, and we have a challenge here. In fact, there's 3 possible challenges available, but David, are you challenging? We'll go with yours. Yours is the highest. You were at 95, so sorry, mate. But to let you know, you have a 90 and an 87, an 82 and an 85, so you certainly got pals there.
Yeah, this is strong. Each one of those images is just exquisite. Each one is gold, all on its own. You know, just the detail in the hair, the exquisite sort of nose up in the air. It's just fantastic composition, expression. What more can you say? It's perfect. It's just a great animal shot. Haven't seen it before. Haven't even seen one of those dogs before. But wow. You know, what a subject. You know, and each one deserves gold. So I think you get three together like that, you go gold distinction. Simple.
Yeah. Okay. Your dog? Thanks, Jacinta.
So I was probably on the lower end in 82, and maybe I was a bit harsh, but I'm not. The only thing that would probably hold me back from going gold is the left and the right image. To me, is really, really similar, and I probably want some difference in the 3 images. I had to look twice, thinking if it was the same image, and it isn't, because I can see the difference in the hair, but the nose up in the air is the same, and I do love the narrative. I think it's fantastic. She's in a Louis Vuitton and Miss Prim and Proper. I love it, so I'm probably willing to go up to silver with distinction, but I don't know if I'm at gold yet. But I am listening.
Cool.
I like the fact that the first and the last replicate each other, because I kind of imagine this, oh, pray. You know how they shake your head at you. So kind of had to go like this. If they weren't doing that, it's projecting the attitude as well. So that's what I saw from the replication of the first and the last.
Yeah. Anyone else wish to contribute? It's up to you.
I love this image, and I've probably underscored it. So I have underscored it. It's unusual though to the dog's beautiful, but the direction of the heads of the dogs, in the first shot and the last shot going in the same direction. I really like that. That's like a really unusual. The inclination would be to reverse it and have it look in or something else. And but I think the hair of the dog looking out adds so much to it as well. So yeah, it's got to go gold here.
Sure. Okay, David, you can summarise. Thank you.
Yeah, I do love that composition, and they are quite different, you know, with the hair and it's just exquisite. So yeah, I'd love to see this one go gold at least. What was the score?
So it's on 88.
88. Yeah, at least gold, if not gold distinction.
Sure.
Let's see how far we can take this. This is just, we haven't seen this before. This is taken us somewhere else.
Excellent. Okay. So, David, you're stuck on 95. Can everybody else, though? You're unstuck. So, rescore what you like. Print is 93, Gold Award. Well done, judges. And to reward your fine efforts, we're going to change. So, thank you, Vic. If you could have a break, mate. Nathan, could I sneak you into that far end seat? The suicide seat? And make yourself comfy. Okay. Next print, please. Print scores by majority 79. And we have a challenge. Thank you, Nathan.
I'm so glad. Yeah, well, look, it's true. We've got, from a distance, we're seeing Koi Bunny. You know, it's a front page of a great kids show. And when we come close, we are not seeing a blowout of highlights, and I know that's probably what we're thinking, but have a look in there. There's actually detail all the way through that. It's subtle, but it's there. We want to look at the gradients. That eye is pitch black, and the background is this beautiful, it's muted black, but it's not the same. There's a lot of detail being taken and preserved in this image. So technically it's actually really perfect as far as I can see. As for posing and as for attitude and emotion, this bunny's rocking it. She's got her hair up. She's got this sassy look on her face. It's Koi Bunny takes over the world. Okay. Like, I'd show this to kids.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so who wants to respond? Okay, Lisa, you're looking at me too many times there.
I would actually just reiterate what Nathan said.
Yes,
That's what I saw in it too.
Yep, fine. Okay. So, Janet, I'd like to hear from you, please.
Yeah, I've scored it in professional practice, and I guess the blacks in the back, really, the blacks in the back, a bit heavy, yeah, for the bunny. But I do like the black and white sort of thing going on, and that bunny's eye is very compelling, I must say. I just feel like it's just lit. You know, if you're a professional photographer in a studio, it doesn't look like it's been lit professionally, and I just think that's let the bunny down.
And probably its whole family. Thank you. Yes, please. Thanks, Jacinta. Yeah.
So I was right on the cusp. I was on 79. I think what let it down for me is I found it really like the tonal range of the black and white was quite cold and really flat. Once again, what Jenna was saying with the lighting, I found it quite flat. And then we're at the bottom of the feet, I found them a little bit muddy. So they were just a few simple elements that were holding me back from going into the next range.
Thank you. And that is very useful comment and feedback there. So thank you. So Nathan, I'll get you to hold. Can everybody else please rescore? Oh, sorry. Write a reply. My apologies. Oh, you must have talked again.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right, thank you. I'm not out to, take Koi Bunny to the heights of everything and fight against anybody. This is a really great team effort, and I want us all to be in agreement. I still think that the blacks are really great. There's at least 4 or 5 different shades of black from the eye to the nose to the feet to the background. I think it's been treated really well. Those feet have sharpness and crispness and hair by hair kind of differentiation there, so I quite like it. At the same time, I can see the areas you're seeing. So I'm on 84 because I really like the sass of this, and I'd love it to see silver. But I'll leave it in the capable hands of the team.
Excellent. Okay, everyone, you know what to do. Good job, Nathan. 81, Silver Award. Next print, please. This print scores, by majority, 90, Gold Award. Nathan, you think you can improve this?
I think if it's a gold award, we should talk. I'll try not to be long or excitable, but in this category, every point's going to count because there are a few golds, and this is well deserving of being considered as a very, very high gold. There is such an ominous feel about this. This isn't a beautiful, soft image. There's some menace. Look at this guy at the back. Like, as far as feels and emotions go, this is strength, peaceful strength in here. And I mean, I don't need to talk anything else up. This is beautiful and perfect. I'd just love to hear some comment before I talk more.
Thank you. Anyone? Thanks, Jacinta. Yeah, you're up there with... you're on 92.
I'm on 92. And I think probably we could take this into even a higher gold. It's sitting on 90. I think we can get a little bit higher than that. It's absolutely exquisite. Whoever the photographer is, I would love a print of this myself. It's just outstanding. To be able to take this shot, because we know that they're not going to be up really close to these gorillas or whatever form of monkey that they are. So, but to be able to capture that with the sharpness in all the details of the fur, and the front one looks like it's looking out to make sure that there's no prey coming or something like that, or the next meal that they're going to get. It's just outstanding. I think let's bring it up a little bit higher because we haven't seen anything like this today.
Okay. So I'm looking for offering of comment. I'm not going to force the issue. If you're happy with that, I'll go straight back to Nathan and we'll wrap that up. Thanks, Nathan. You go for it, mate.
Yeah, excellent. All right. Well, cropping leads us to that empty space on the right, so that they're looking at that subject. So I love the cropping. Cropping's perfect as well. There are 3 distinct profiles going on in these characters, and they're all really beautiful. The one at the front is perfectly sideways. The other one, I mean, you can see it. It's really beautiful, and I'd love to see this get respected as a very, very, very high gold. I can't fault it. It's got feel. It's got craft. I have to stick on 92, but everyone else, I'd love to see you guys push.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Nathan. Currently sitting on 90. Already a gold award. Can it be a bigger gold award? That is our question. So print is now 93. A gold award. Well done. A solid gold. Well done. Next print, please. This print scores 84, silver award, 84 by majority. Thanks, Jacinta. Yeah.
Yeah, this was beautiful. The only thing possibly that I would change, the only thing that bothered me was that foot from the little puppy on the left-hand side. It's sort of being cropped off. That's the only thing. If you have another frame that you could possibly use for that puppy or completely different, it would go higher. It's beautiful.
Excellent. Okay, thank you. Next print, please. This print scores 77, and Lisa, can I just get some positive feedback from you,
Yeah, I mean,
please?
it's a really beautiful moment. You've frozen the dog. The ball's a little bit blurry. It's just a touch overexposed for me.
Yep.
The background's a bit too bright.
Sure. Thank you. And next print, please. Thank you, judges. Excellent. Sprint scores 81, silver award. Nathan, can I get you to provide some commentary for the author?
Yeah, technically it's great. It's beautiful. I would like to see a bit more, maybe emotion out of this puppy. He looks really surly.
Great. Okay. Thank you. I think surly counts as an emotion, but thank you. Excellent. Next print, please. Okay, thank you, folks. This print scores 79. And we have a challenge from Janet. Thank you, Janet. That was robust.
Yeah, I scored at 85. I'd like to see it just sneak into the silver area. Sort of like the story, this boy cat, skinless cat, is really in need of something to wear. And yeah, I think it's just a little bit quirky. There's a nice little colour palette, and I like how the cat's looking up at the jacket, and yeah, it's just put together beautifully. Definitely worth a silver.
Well, Janet, you have, in the other realms of the judging panel, you have a 78, a 78, a 78, and a 78. So, take your pick.
On behalf of my 78, I agree, Janet. The story is amazing. I love what they've come up with. The concept is brilliant. Unfortunately, it's fallen down in the execution. The sharpness isn't consistent throughout to be believable. The coats are all sharp, yet the coat rack is blurry, the front and the back foot. The focus on the cat is on the back ear, not quite on the eye. and it doesn't feel properly planted on the grass for me. Concept alone, if they'd been able to execute a bit better, I definitely would have gone into the award range, but it hasn't quite come home for me, unfortunately.
Cool. Nathan.
I just have to back that up as well. I would be with you in high silvers because the attitude's so great, but it's I can see the carpet overlaid on the leg of that little piece, which just tells me that whoever's doing this, there's 5% more to finish this really, really great, and they could go back and do that, and then it could be a really strong image because everything else is there, just those little technicals.
Okay. Thanks, Janet. Can you summarise?
Great feedback for the entrant, and particularly this sort of quirky thought process that they're entering into is you're really onto something that's so different and so interesting. So well done. Keep at it, and take those comments on board, and we'll go for the rescore.
Yep, let's go for the score. So thank you, Janet. You stay put. Everybody else rescores, please. Print's currently sitting on 79. It's actually 79.4 and remains on 79. Thank you, everybody. And we'll accept that. And next to print, please. Hurry, hurry, hurry. This print scores 81 Silver Award. Nathan, you were the highest scorer, but I'd like you to provide some helpful feedback if there's anything you can...
Yeah, great
Simon?
concept. As it stands, everything's really pretty. The tones are beautiful and warm. From way back here, there's just such a lot of shiny teeth. That image in the middle got me to 82. I love it. I love the concept. It doesn't drop out too much, but there's just so much teeth. Maybe a few other shots, the same treatment, could really add even more strength. It's a beautiful idea. It's really warm and loving.
Great. Thank you very much. Yes, you can. Thank you.
Just a really quick one. The printing has some pretty solid banding through it. Okay. So if this person was to perhaps fix that banding as well, the teeth didn't bother me, but the banding was a bit of an issue.
An issue, and easily fixed, I would imagine. Thank you. Next print, please. Okay. Print scores 81 Silver Award. Janet, is this print perfect or can you improve it even further?
I must admit I was a little bit confused with the narrative of the image. And, I started to think, well, there's all the ingredients for the pot or whatever. And, so it's quite unclear to me what the story is. And I guess that is a problem. I like the whole look of the image, though. I like the colours and the whole look of the image, but it's confusing.
Okay. Thank you. Next print, please. Okay, thank you, judges. Excellent. Here we go. Print scores 82, silver award. Looking for voluntary comments here. Someone, I'll pick on you. Thanks, Jacinta.
The only thing possibly that could take this to the next level is some sort of narrative. I'm trying to work out the story between all the dogs, but I can't quite work it out. And also on the top left, 2 dogs, twins, whatever they are. The white dog is quite dark and muddy on the right-hand side of the fur. So that I'd just fix those small things.
Great. Thank you very much. Okay, you've all been working very hard. I'm going to do a judge swap, but I'll invite if anybody wants a rest, apart from Nathan. We're all good? Yep. Okay. Have a break, David. Thank you for your level of commitment so far. Vic, if I could bring you in David's place there, thank you. And next print, please. Okay. This print scores 86, silver distinction. And quick as a wink, Lisa's in there with a challenge who's sitting on 90. Lisa, you
Okay.
have another 90 to accompany you.
Yeah. Oh, did I?
You also have an 86 and an 85 and a 78.
Okay, well, that's all right. Can someone get some chocolate for the 78 and we'll all be good? No. In all seriousness, this is absolutely exquisite. I encourage you all to have another look. For those that haven't seen it, for me, these are 4 individual images that, should they've been put up, would have all scored very, very well. They're very abstract, they're soft, there's beautiful flow, the colours are lovely. put together as a set. They're just swipe, full stop at the end with the darker feathers. For me, it's that they look like aerials. They look like aerials of birds. And I'm loving the composition, the softness, the treatment, the colour. I love how we're full stopped on the end with the dark, which I've mentioned before. I'm struggling to see anything that concerns me in these ones. I'd love to see this come up to gold.
Thank you, Jana. So,
I was on 78. I must admit, I was just a little bit disappointed in the fact that we're offered 4 images that really, why, do they really need to, does there need to be 4 images in front of us? I get what you're saying about the full stop, but, really we could have stopped at the first image and then we would have had a way stronger image rather than... that's the question, why do we have 4? It is lovely, it's beautiful, but I just don't think that it works as a quad. And just for me. But I am listening to the debate.
I've got Nathan first and then, yeah. So.
I scored 90 because I wanted to talk about it. This is the most beautiful, intimate journey and introduction to this feathered friend that I've ever seen. This is not a pose. This is not a duck from a distance. We are deep, deep, deep into the world of this creature. The eye holds us. We know we've met and we're part of it. So that's a strong image right there. Just that image. I see the swirl and the S shape. It's a strong image. But the rest of these pieces tell us pieces about this character, where we journey and we flow through all of these crevices of this. What is it? A swan? Of this character. We are journeying through each small piece of this character, and I love every piece of this. And ending with that darker piece where we're watching the colour drain out, there's got to be a story there. And even without it, we're learning pieces about it. Everyone is unique and I think worthwhile. As an art piece, it's beautiful. As a quadtic, we needed that. We needed that shape 3-1. That feels really good as a piece of art, as a illustrative piece of art. I can't fault this, and I'm going to push myself up a whole lot more as well.
Okay. Jacinta.
To answer Janet's question when she was asking why we have all those individual images and not just the first image, I see it basically as an art piece, and that is why we have the 4 images. The only thing that held me back from going to gold is because I wanted to know the story to the black image on the end, whereas I would have just stuck with the 3 and possibly had the first image as the centre image. But if there was some sort of story there, that's probably what would have taken me to gold. But I can see what you're saying by that's the full stop. But I see it as an art piece. I think that's why we have the 4 images and not just the single one. That's what takes it higher.
Okay, so Lisa. Yes?
Does anyone know what kind of a bird it is, or it's irrelevant? Flamingo. That's what I thought it
Don't
might.
assume. So
But, okay,
we do
well,
not know.
It's a bird.
So it's a bird.
So obviously, the colour, as the colour moves across, it's got that is another part of the bird, the black with the red, but it's obviously the same bird because it's exactly the same colour. Yeah?
Is that a question?
Yeah.
That's your whole question? So I can
Yeah.
sum up now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
Lisa,
very
this
important
is-
how you answer this.
Give Lisa her right of reply, please, Vic.
Yes, this is the same bird.
Thought that.
I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to assume. I see this as being one bird.
Okay.
Segments of one bird. We see the eye, what we normally identify a creature by, the eye. We see a lovely, whooshy, feathery, the feathers are actually arranged in the shape of a feather as a whole. Then we see the next one, there's 2 sections crisscrossing each other beautifully. And if you see this up on the wall, which you will, go up and have a look at the detail in the soft areas. It's exquisite. It's just beautifully soft. And then you get to the one at the end, which is perhaps I am thinking it's the tail feathers, because the tail feathers are always shaky tail feathers, something different. You know, this one's black. And from here, I'm thinking, what's this white bit up the top? And you go up there and it's just a beautiful, exquisite bit of whiteness. And it's an art piece, and I would love this on a wall. I can't fault it, and I think it deserves a gold. What do we think, judges?
Yes, let's find out. So, thank you, Lisa. You will stay parked at 90, but everybody else, pop in your scores. Print was sitting on 86, is now 90. Gold award. Well done, judges. And next print, please. So this print scores 81, Silver Award. Lisa, can I get a 10-second gift of improvement for the author?
I love the wide angle, but I really wish the thing behind it was straight, and I wish the pet bowl was straight. But the wide angle is impressive.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Next print, please. This print scores 84, Silver Award, 84 by majority. Oh, we nearly flicked over into tomorrow then. No, stop. Look, you focus at the... Thank you, Vic.
This is amazing.
Done. I'll let you challenge. But also, can I let you know that you have a friend
Thank the
with the
Lord.
90 as well? You have two 84s and an 82.
I've got to start with I don't know anything about animals, right? But what I do know a lot about is humans. And this is like an expression that I can relate to very, very much. So, this is like me sitting at my computer in the afternoon when the numbers don't look good. So that's what I feel like. So I feel like that there's a connection with this animal, and it is just amazing. It's so human, and the way the eyes are, looking down, and the way the angle of the camera, where you just see a little bit of the eyes but not too much, it just drags me right in there and keeps me there. And then I look at all the wrinkly stuff and I think, wow, all the veins and all of that. And then I look at the symmetry and I think, wow, how the hell do you get that as symmetric as that? It's obviously not copied or anything, but I'm not assuming anything. And then I look at the texture that was put on the background and I wonder and I worry and I think, is that texture supposed to be there? But then I think it really, really adds. So I look at the whole image and I think, well, it's perfect. What would I change?
Cool. Okay, I'm going to hold off on you just for the moment, Lisa. So I'm looking for Nath or Jacinta to give us their perspective. Thank you, Jacinta.
Oh yeah, this definitely had an impact the moment I turned around. The moment I got up and I'm looking a little bit closer, I'm just finding from left to right, it's very similar in terms of whiskers are in the same place, fur is in the same place. So that's the only thing that held me back is I wanted to see difference from left to right. Yes, but I'm willing to listen a little bit more.
Look,
Thanks, Nathan. Yeah.
I'm struggling because the expression is so strong and it's absolutely flipped and it's done perfectly. It's a perfect flip and deliberately, as an artist can do to something to make it stronger, they've succeeded. They've made this glowering, human, ancient Jedi cat. So I'm okay with that edit. You saw it correctly, I reckon. What I struggle with is that I can't stay on that face at all. I keep jumping from the nose to the forehead, to the nose to the forehead. I can't find the eyes. I'm not seeing the catchlight. There's a lot to stay in the image about, but I gave it an 82 and I'm listening. I'll go up a little bit, but I really struggle to settle anywhere on this in the eyes. I'm stuck on the forehead or the nose. So just help me out a little bit. I'm listening and I'll move.
Sure. Yeah. Lisa, you're sitting right up there with Vic on 90.
Yeah, I'm on 90. I didn't notice that it was a flip, and now that I notice, that doesn't bother me, just like you. It's done well. I like the fact that there's two sets of eyes here. It feels like there's this alien mask, which adds adds to the mood and the feeling for me. And what Vic has said and the Jedi and all that sort of stuff, I think it's really well executed.
Okay. Thanks, Vic.
Okay. I'm okay with... I didn't see the flip, hey, that was amazing. But I'm agreeing with everyone that it doesn't really matter because it is executed perfectly. The thing about the wandering eyes, Nathan, I think the wandering focus point, I think it's important, but I think it's deliberate. Okay, I think you don't want to stay in the eyes in the beginning because they're very challenging and they're very dark and they take you to a place, an angry place or a place where we don't feel comfortable. So looking at moving from the eyes down and then moving back up and having a look at the forehead and how intriguing it is, but it drives you back down. The lines drive you straight to the eyes, to the nose and then the eyes. So I think it's I don't think it's a distraction. I think it actually adds to the picture.
Great.
So there you go.
Excellent.
And of course, I'm looking for 90s.
Yes, you are. Okay, let's score everyone. So the print is currently 84 by majority. It's actually an 86 average. So throw in your scores. We'll have... So this print now scores 90, Gold Award. Well done, judges. Right then, next print, please. Thank you, Vic. All right, okay, waiting on the scores to come through, and it is an 82 Silver Award. Janet, can you provide some
Yeah,
entertainment?
well done to the author. I guess to bring it up a little bit for APA, I'd just watched The Hat and some of the, work around the hat. But yeah, great little capture and well done.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, next print, please. Thank you, judges. Print scores, 80. Silver Award. Lisa, is there anything there that you think you can offer in terms of advice?
Yeah, just watch your highlights. There's a lot of highlights blending into the background.
Great, thank you very much. And next print, please. Thank you, folks. This print scores 81, a silver award. Jacinta, is there anything you could throw in there for consideration?
I think the Greyhound alone is a standout. I think I was probably wanting to know more with the narrative. Maybe I haven't read it as I should be reading it. But with the Greyhound, we've got a dog and we've got a cat. Whereas, I don't know, maybe it would have been good to see a rabbit or something in there, as being a Greyhound. But yeah, that's the only thing I was struggling with was a little bit was the narrative.
Okay. Thank you very much. Next print, please. This sprint scores by majority 79. And we have a challenge from Janet. Thank you, Janet.
Yeah. Now, absolute impact as soon as the picture turns around, as we can see. And we might sort of say, oh, well, you know, the shallow depth of field hasn't really worked, and it's a little bit out of focus. But you know what? Look at it from back here and look at those eyes. Do we really need them that sharp? There's a certain old worldy styling that has gone into the image that I think the photographers really nailed for me, right down to the clasp around the, you know, with the dog's name. But you know, you can almost feel like the dog's an old prophet, or there's so much expression and life in that dog's eyes. Beautiful colour palette. I think this really needs to move up into the silver range.
Sure. Okay, so you've got a couple in the mid-70s. And so, Nathan, you're eyeballing me. You're the man.
Okay, dressed up dog. The focal area is pretty much the dog's left eye looking at us. Lost detail in our top right area. My eye keeps drawing down to the nose, which is not in focus. The badge, which is really everything leads to this little badge, and that's not really sharp. I know that it doesn't matter, but I'm struggling with all the technicals around it, and I feel like this dog will be as sincere without any extras. After all of our talk about Jedi Knights, like I wanted to believe that this was strong, but it did feel soft in all the areas where the other one was strong, and we pushed it to a gold. So we shouldn't be comparing, I'm sorry, but it's just the little technicals. I see where you're coming from with the feel. That's strong, so I'm listening.
So Vic, you gave this a solid silver.
I think there's more here than meets the eye. I think I have to go with Janet a little bit. So the name implies that's an interesting name, and it's an old name, okay, and it's a potentially could be a Jewish name. The age of the dog and the garment to me is taking me to an old woman and an older dog. The eyes are definitely there. There's a lot of life in this dog, and I think it's intentional that it's been deliberately shot to say this is an aging dog, an aging female dog, of a certain ethnicity, that just like a beautiful old woman. So I think it's definitely got to go to silver. We're only a point or so away. So at the very least.
Cool. You want to? Yep. Yeah. Thanks to said that.
I'm probably sitting the same as where Nathan is. I was struggling technically, especially the left-hand side. I'm trying to decipher from where the dog finishes and the wrap starts. We're losing detail. And I know you think it's an old storyline, history, possibly, but I'm wondering why the wrap is even there. I'm struggling a little bit with the focal point, and yeah, just technical things are quite letting it down for me. I'm listening, but I'm not quite sure if I can go up. Yep.
Okay, thanks, Shanna. I'm sure you can weave some magic.
Yeah, I know. It is quite compelling, I think, the image. And, you know, I've photographed a lot of old dogs, and, you know, they do have a personality and a story to tell. It's amazing. Their eyes do speak volumes. And I just feel like this photographer has brought to the table just something a little bit extra here, you know, that needs to be rewarded, in the fact that they've given us a picture that would hang very happily on someone's wall that obviously reflects the dog's personality. So, yeah, I think it's worthy of a silver, and we just need to nudge it up there.
Sure. Let's nudge away. Okay. So now that was an automatic challenge. So actually, my apologies. You didn't actually have the right of reply there. So do you want to treat it not an automatic? Well, no. It's an automatic. Yeah. So that gives you the right to alter your score. Okay. So can everybody please rescore? Print scores 82, silver award. Next sprint, please. You judges. Thank you. This print scores 78. Jacinta, do you have a little 10-second grab for us? Some feedback, please.
I think what's sort of drawing away the attention from the puppies is that leather couch. I definitely crop the bottom of that couch off. I'm also finding it just a little bit flat in colour tones, so possibly printing or post-processing maybe. Just needs a little bit more drama to it.
Great. Thank you very much. Next print, please. Thank you, judges. This print scores 78. And Nathan, can you please provide a 10-second grab?
First 5 seconds, I'd say that the matting is really, I'm really enjoying the colour tone of the matting to match the colour tone of the animal. That's awesome. But I can't see a story. It's just a simple professional practice shot. I don't want to push it into awards for something that's just a perfect everyday image, which is what this looks like. Great capture.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And let's go with a blank print screen. A blank screen, please. And well done. Well done. Thank you, everybody. Can I particularly thank our judging panel here? That was a marathon effort, and the concentration at the end of the day was exemplary. So I really appreciate the effort, and also the print handlers out the back. They have done a great job. So well done, you guys. Can I just please bring everybody in here because Steve's just got some organising for tomorrow. Just the judges.